Are we live? We are live.
Good
Jennifer,
morning, Jesse.
what are you doing? I feel like you're always on the screen talking to people, starting
Yeah,
stuff.
it's crazy. Well, one last week was crazy. I don't usually do a 3-leg trip, so I had a busy. Went up to Clemson, did some guest lecturing up there, which was amazing with Marshall and Melody, and then flew into Columbus and did AGC National Convention. Got to present, got to connect with some really cool people, and you and I then had a live stream yesterday because of Congress. Got to talk to Kevin Lebrecht about the abstracts. Then we had our cultivation crew yesterday afternoon. I'm just like, we've been going nonstop.
Oh yeah, all kinds of fun. Well, and I've had my face behind the screen
Yes.
for like the whole week. We kicked off the NCCER Superintendent Certification Program. And I got to meet a whole bunch of people across the country, something like 60 superintendents or folks that are in the thing. So amazing. And then, like
What?
you
You
said,
get to meddle with their minds and stuff? What?
oh man, well, honestly, I think they're going to have a bigger impact on me
Okay.
than I'm going to have on them. But yeah, we do get to hang out and talk some stuff, but it's awesome. It's super good. And it related to our conversation today, right?
Mhm.
Why the few are winning the retention game. And it's what retention we're talking about, like keeping people. I think we pretty much have the attraction part figured out, right? Pay them money, give them benefits. But the retention is a whole different conversation. And as that relates to this NCCER training thing, it's clear like the energy of those groups, and some of them are like dedicated cohorts that the company said we want all our people in this thing. The energy is just different. And so for me, it's like, well, yeah, of course, because the company's making an investment in the individual. So naturally, the individual is going to have a different kind of air about them.
Mhm.
And so I love that, like, it's all kind of connected. Um, but we are going to talk about something today.
We
Yeah.
are. We do have a topic today.
Yep. And so the topic is why the few are winning the retention game, and very, very few.
Yes.
So we're going to get into all that good stuff. And if all you folks out there in the Omniverse, let us know you're here. I already see a comment. Who's that? Uh-oh, Mr. Jeremy Blair. What's
Good
up,
morning,
Jeremy?
Jeremy. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some stuff going on. So one, he's a rock star and he's out there killing it. He's up in one job. He's about to make a transition to another job. So he gets to go and work with a different team and just share some of his energy, his excitement, some of the things on just how to make this industry better. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Look, they're coming.
First of all, do you see these 3 in a row? My
I do.
heart right now is about to explode. You don't even understand.
That is awesome. So Craig, well, folks, if
Yes.
y'all don't know this, Jeremy, Mr. Craig Lair, and the next one, Josh Wallace, are all Robbins and Morton employees, which is, again, one of those indicators of like some magical stuff happening. Craig, I think Craig just loves torture because he was on the call with us yesterday on the cultivation crew. He's here today. He was on the call with me on Saturday for the Do the Damn Thing weekly planning deep dive. And Craig, appreciate you, brother. And then Mr. Josh Wallace. What's up, Josh?
And Josh is about to be down here in Texas, so I'm excited about that. He's making that transition next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And then look, we got a
I got to meet Brent this week in Columbus. Yes.
I'm a little jealous. I gotta admit, I'm a little jealous. You got to meet him. Brent, we're gonna meet someday. All right, Jen. So before we get going, what are the rules of the game today?
Okay. So those of you that are out there, my people are just showing up strong. So we're just gonna go with that. So if you know Jesse and you support him, you may want to give a comment so he doesn't get his feelings hurt. But what we would like for you to do, if you're out there and you're listening, and it's your first time you've ever heard us crazies on the screen, or you've been on, but you haven't commented or contributed to the conversation, we would like you to please put a blue heart in the comments. And what that does for us, one, that may be the only thing you do today, and that's okay. because we know people sometimes just like to watch and listen. But we're talking about some really juicy stuff today, so you'll probably want to contribute. But if you put a blue heart in, it lets everybody, all of our tribe members, know that, hey, this is a new person. We need to connect with this person, because that is the power of this group. It is connection, it is relationships, it is community. So when you put a blue heart, they're like, ooh, I need to go and connect with them. I need to follow their content. I need to engage with them. And so that's what the blue heart does, number one, because it allows our team to, our tribe to connect with you. The other thing it does, Jesse, is it puts them in the
randomizer. And so I'll tell you guys about the randomizer, but first, Mr. Jim Gontori, what's up, Jim? I wonder if he's on the deck today. Old faithful, been here a long time. Self-identified lurker, but he's not a lurker. He's making it for sure. Mr. Will, what's up, Will?
Good morning, Will. Thank you for joining us.
Man, coming in from the NYC. And then Mr. Brent Darnell, Blue Heart, folks. So like Jen said, connect, follow, support. One thing that I think I still haven't really figured it out, and I don't think I need to. I just think it's amazing. But like the caliber of people that come to the live stream and contribute is like blows my mind. Like, man, this is awesome. And so back to the randomizer.
Yes.
Anybody that comments in the chat, you can drop emojis in the chat, comment, whatever. Your name is going to be thrown into the hopper. And so at the top of the hour, we're going to click the randomizer button, and it's like a little raffle kind of. And the winner of the person that gets selected by the randomizer is going to get one session of the cultivation crew and one session of the emotional bungee jumpers for free. And if you got any questions or curiosities about what the hell those things are, hit Mr. Jim Gontorius up. He's a past victim, and Craig is a recent victim.
Yes.
Craig Blair. So these
Craig
guys
won last time.
What's that?
Because Craig won the randomizer last time, and he got to hang out with us yesterday afternoon.
Yes. So anyhow, when you drop your comment in here, like Mr. Lois, have an amazing Saturday, everyone, coming in from the Netherlands. Oh my God, we're global.
Yes, Liz, thank you so much.
So when you drop your comment like that, you will get in the randomizer. And when we click the thing at the top of the hour, we'll be inviting you to some super fun mind-shifting experiences. Miss Melissa Smith, what's up, girl?
Repeat offender,
and also fellow troublemaker on the Congress Outreach Committee.
Truth. Oh yes, we got other stuff in the background, planning and simmering and stuff.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So let's just stir it all up, Jen. What do you think?
Okay, let's do it.
So here's the question to all our folks out there in the Omniverse. Have you ever left a job where the money was good, and what pushed you out the door? Now, while y'all are thinking through that, or maybe to like sanitize it so you don't have to like self-incriminate, do you know somebody that left a job where the money was good, and what pushed them out the door? And so, Jen, you came up with some monster questions today. Where did this question come from? Like, why do you think it's an important question?
Well, because you and I, we do a lot of things. We have a couple of things that we do that we have people go out and ask questions and challenge questions, and hey, to engage with other people, go ask 3 people, get their feedback, bring it back. So it kind of helps you create connection, but also kind of helps you know more about the people that you hang out with. And so where this came from is one of our challenge questions was, hey, go ask 3 people, if you weren't doing what you were doing right now, what should you be doing in that context? And so when I went out and asked 3 people that, were close to me or that were around me, the first reactions were nothing. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And they're like, no, you're doing exactly what you should be doing. And I was like, okay. And so then the follow-up was, well, maybe you should just be working at my company. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because, and so then that spurred into a bigger conversation between us, because that's usually what those challenge questions do. And it became what would it take for me and what I'm doing now, to be able to move to another place, to another company, to another firm, and it was nothing. And I think,
Mm.
and again, like, I mean, I'm in a good place, and I've been here for a long time, and I do a lot of things, and we'll get into a lot of those things a little bit later. But in that moment, I had what I needed, and so I was happy. And money, 50, 100,000, like more money would not have made me leave.
Mm.
And so this question made me, the question came from, like, if you're somewhere and you're happy and you're making the, I mean, not even happy, if you're somewhere and you're making the money that you deserve, why would you leave? What would
Yeah.
make you leave? Or what have you seen someone leave for? And for me, the not so much why someone had to leave. I've seen people that didn't fit our culture, that were making really good money, that were making profits for the company, that were meeting their deadlines, were meeting their schedules, were doing all these things, and that I'm going to use this, and no one please quote this. The culture almost choked them out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So anyway, that's my answer. Does that help you?
Yeah. I think, and I know it's helped the audience because we got a hell of a
Yeah, good.
got a bunch of
Okay.
answers in. So I'm going to go to the responses, but
Yeah.
first I want to recognize the shower
Yes.
uppers.
Yes.
Miss Heather,
Good
good
morning,
morning.
Heather. How are you? I got to hang
You
out with
got the
Heather
hang.
this week
I
in
know,
Columbus,
I know.
and yeah, and so she and I are going to be doing some good fun stuff. So I'm excited.
10-4. We got Mr. Milo. He said, "Uh-oh, culture." Milo always.
It's always comes down to culture.
Then we got Mr. Sam
Sam.
Singer. What's up, Sam?
Yes. Good morning, Sam.
Oh man, we got a bunch of people in the randomizer. All
Awesome.
right, so some of the answers we
Okay.
got, and again, I love the question because you and I've talked about this in my personal experiences, where it's like, yeah, I have, like, well, I didn't, but I threatened to, and I guess technically, when I started my company, I did, right? Like, and I think there's a multitude of reasons for people to do this, and so Will says, yes, my soul told me I needed to grow outside the comfort of my surroundings. It changed my life. What do you think
Drop
about
a
that?
bomb like that, Will. You're gonna have to give us. You can't just drop a bomb like that and then like not even give us anything else. Like, I feel this so much because Jesse, and we'll talk. I mean, like, what I'm able to do and the impact I'm able to have, like, it is, and I'm gonna say it connects with my soul. It connects with my purpose. And if I was somewhere that I did not feel that, like, that would be a reason for me to not be there. So I get this so much.
Oh yeah, and I know there's more to that. So we have time, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But thank you for that. Because absolutely, right? Like,
Mhm.
yes, we need money, right, to pay for the stuff that we
Yeah.
buy. But when it's sucking our soul, like we can make it, we can leave. We can do something different.
Well, Jesse, money is now, and I'm going to say this: money's table stakes now.
100%.
100, like, one in our industry, one in the needs and the gaps and all the things and who we work for and who we get to choose to be. Like, in the economy, everywhere we are right now, money's table stakes.
100%. Like, that's the thing, right? Everybody is advertising compatible wages or competitive wages and benefits. It's like no, but for real, I'm going to say back in 98, 99, when I was like still working, benefits was a big deal because not every, especially in construction, because very few companies had them. And if they did, they were like, mediocre. But now everybody has them. So what are you really, that it's weak sauce,
Yes.
competitive wages. You better, right? Like, you want a freaking trophy for that? It's weak sauce. And does it really matter if you can't keep your people? So back to kind of where you started with the conversation, in sure, there are the dollar chasers, and I used to be one of them. Are you going to leave a company for a little raise, 10, 20, 30, 40? And sure, that's a lot of money. I mean, I know
We're not
early in my
discounting that.
career,
We're not discounting that money
right,
doesn't matter. So we're just going
right.
to put that out there. We know money matters.
Yeah, 100%. But, and Will nailed it, right? Like when you're in a place that helps you, that you feel appreciated and valued, the self-awareness and your line of sight expands to see all kinds of opportunity. Money doesn't make, like, the company paying you a wage doesn't create that condition. The benefits doesn't create that condition. And everybody's giving them. So, I mean, what I'm hoping, my goal of this conversation is to slap some people in the face and help them wake up and start taking action and stop blaming the damn company, because yes, it's the company. We work for companies, but it's the freaking managers that have the greatest amount of influence. So anyways, that's my little sermon there. Man, we got some, look, we got Miss.
I'm like literally getting my ears, my eyes are getting teared up. Just think, I got some stuff that's just hitting me right now. But anyway, yes. Good morning, Francis. Thank you for being here.
Yo, and we got, man, I gotta, we got newcomers and I gotta
yes.
recognize them. Lois got a birthday coming up. He's dropped the link down there in the thing. So folks, if y'all want to celebrate with him, do that. We got another frequent flyer.
Good morning, Lance.
Mr. Lance. Oh man, who else do we got? We got Steven, Jason. What's up, Steven? And then we got a boss again, frequent
Blue
flyer.
heart,
Got a blue
another
heart,
blue
putting the
heart.
signal out there. All right, so y'all keep it coming. Now, here, let's see. I missed a point. Jeremy says, I've left good money for comfort. I've also left due to zero safety. I've done this multiple times in my last refinery life.
Yep, and he's a safety guy, so he is that's his role. That's a lot of the stuff he does. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and so what I'm taking from that is safety in terms of like environmental health and safety, technically within the organization, managing risk and making sure people are safe. And so the zoomed out level of that view is the organization's values, what they actually valued did not align with what he valued. And so you got to go, right? Like, and I'll say this because I've done this for a long time, or you can try to change it. But know that that's a long ass road. What do you think, Jen?
Yes, 100%. And do they, and I'm going to say they, because they could be company, they could be manager, they could be wherever you are. Do they value their people? And for us, we talk about that all the time. So that's a whole nother show. We can dig into what that means, but that to me is paying somebody the wages that are competitive to the person that you would compete against is not, to me, the value of your people. You're just doing what you have to do to be able to survive.
Right. To keep the lights on.
Yep.
Well, and so we keep kind of poking on culture. And I want to say something because I believe this 100%, whether it's PC or not. Like, if you're in a culture that is progressive and forward thinking and softer, and that's not your speed, get the hell out of there because it's going to drive you crazy.
Yes.
There are cultures that are freaking kick ass and take names. Let's go 100 miles an hour, work 16 hours a day and make shit happen. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So if you're looking for that aggressive, high yield, just get it done, find the company that has that culture. If you don't like that, find a company that does it. So my point in that is, and what's triggering it is the statement you made earlier, right? So the culture will choke people out. Good, right? And so again, kind of like Jeremy's deal, you can either try to change it or just go find a place that better suits you, that the values align with you, which comes back to this whole point of, do you as an individual understand what your values are, what drives you, what it is you're after and looking for in the short term and the long term. And when when you're with an organization that offers that, why are you going to chase the dollar? Right? Um, so let's see who else brought something good. So Josh says,
yes.
I chose to leave for growth and better opportunities. I'd say it has paid
I
off.
would agree.
Right? Yep. Yep. Now, Mr. Brent, and guys, if y'all don't know out there, Brent's a baller, like for real, certified baller. So, and what I mean by that, massive expertise, massive influence in the organization. He's been doing good work for us for decades now. And by us, I mean the construction industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brent asks, when companies make their employees' lives better, why would they ever take the chance to leave? What do you think, Jen?
Well, I mean, that's it. It's. Are you doing it to survive, or are you doing it for better? And I think that those are two different things. I think there are companies that are doing it to check the boxes, to make sure that they got what they need, and they're not looking at growth. They're not looking at opportunity. They're not looking at succession. They're not looking at anything other than right now, how can I make money? How can I have a profit? How can I do the things that will allow me to still do this tomorrow? And there are people that is their strategic plan. That is the way that they make decisions. And then I think there's also companies that, yes, that is important. And yes, we have to make sure that those are in the conversations. But we also have to make sure that if we want to be sustainable and we want to still be in business in 10 years, there are things we have to do today and put in place to have leaders in 10 years, to have people that buy into our culture and our mission and our purpose so that we are continually getting better, so that in 10 years, where are we going to be? So much further along.
Yeah. And I'm gonna build on that. And I like the way Brent framed the comment, because structurally, the organization, the company, having processes, SOPs, succession planning, this sort of thing to like keep developing and advancing talent through the organization, that's a process thing, right? That and it's highly valuable. And when you don't have it, high performers are not gonna like that, and they will leave. When you do have it, you that's good, right? That's not like the grand slam home run. That's like, okay, you did your homework, right? Good job. Now, where I think the difference is, like the dramatic difference, is when the managers, because I've had the fortune of this, and I think the life I'm living today speaks to that, is when the managers invest in understanding the individual. And I'm not talking about like, what are your goals in the next 5 years as it relates to the company.
Right.
I'm talking about what are your goals in the next 5 years as a human being on this world, and then take steps or make small efforts to help those individuals grow in the direction that they want to grow in. I think that is the game, not the promotions and the process map of the career tracks and the different opportunities. Like, everybody has that bullshit. It comes down to the individual managers demonstrating real curiosity, real interest, and real appreciation in their team members to discover what it is they want to, or what it is they aspire to, and then make small efforts to make that happen. And by small efforts, I mean just having a follow-up conversation. Hey man, last time we talked, you said you wanted to do a podcast. Like, have you taken any steps in that?
Mm-hmm.
There's no capital investment there. That's just human being human.
Mm-hmm.
Am I like, is this too?
No, just you're ringing into every part of me right now, just because, I mean, I think you've hit a couple things. One, it's the conversation and the questions and the interaction, is that don't make assumptions that just because this is what someone else did, or this was the track that worked, or this is what's already in place, that is always the right track for everybody else. So there's that piece on just because this is the career path, or this is what worked based on whatever, like, make sure that you're having those conversations. And I can speak to this specifically because where I'm at in my company, 6-7 years ago, this track didn't exist. Like it did not exist. So if they were going to tap into my value and what I could do for them, but also what was going to make me happy, they like had to create something. And
Mm,
I mean that's a conversation. That's a conversation to be able to go, what do you want to do? What can we, what is the opportunity? How can we leverage you, but also how can we support you?
yeah.
And like if you're not having those conversations with people because this is the structure and this is the hierarchy and this is the path and this is what we've always done, you are missing the mark.
Yeah. Yep. 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 And again, well, actually, folks, if you're feeling uncomfortable and say, man, why are you talking shit about me? Like, don't worry. We're going to have some cheat codes from you directly on the
Yes.
No BS tribe. So,
But
and
we need
because,
that. But that's good. If we're saying stuff that you're like, oh, this doesn't feel good, that's the point.
yep. 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 And so let's add some more like evidence to the like, if you're doing these things, if this is the situation your people are having, you got some work to do. So here's another question for the Omniverse, and then I'm going to go to a bunch of comments in
Please,
here.
please, please.
So, question: when was the last time you felt invisible at work?
Yeah. You're going straight to the heart.
And so, some comments from the chat. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
celebration. We got
Good morning.
Mugalu coming in from Uganda.
International.
Thank you. What's going on? So Mr. Jim, Jim says, it's like y'all have a window into what is going on in my world.
Blue, 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 blue.
Yep. And like, here's the thing, right? Like, I think so many people are in that situation, in either side of the fence, right?
Mhm.
Either you feel minimized and invisible, undervalued, underappreciated, or you're like, oh shit, I'm doing the minimizing and the under, like I'm just, maybe you're just blind to it. And I think most people are blind to it, not necessarily doing it with malice or intent. And so that's part of the reason of this conversation is like, if you don't see it, fool, let me show it to you, right? And then Mr. Will says, the universe sent me to this conversation this morning because I needed the reminder, ready for the next man. And Will's amazing, right? Like,
Yes.
I want to have a boss like Will because my boss
I
sucks
just
right
want to hang out with Will.
now. Yeah, for sure. All right, and Mr. Amut, how you doing, my friend? Coming in from Canada. He says, I came to the edge so many times, but always self-reflected. Why am I not receiving what I'm looking for? And it's certainly not the money, right? Like,
Mhm.
let's see, two or three times in my career, maybe four, I made a big shift, left the company or whatever, or threatened to leave, not threatened, but like submitted my letter of resignation. And what always happens is the bosses, all of a sudden, they can access a big chunk of
More
money,
money.
right? Like, what if we give you a 10% or 20? Like, we don't always do this, and wow, wow, wow. I've heard it so many times. It's kind of interesting. It's like, okay, like, where did that money just the tooth fairy visit you? Like, if that's the value that you see, why didn't I have it before? But that's not the issue. The real issue is this: is when I decide to leave and tell the bosses, it's not to negotiate. It's to come up with an exit plan because I'm freaking leaving,
Yes.
right? Like I'm not going to stay to for another 10 grand or 20 or whatever it is, whatever that number is. I'm not going to stay for that because there are other things that are missing that money cannot create, right? And so like back to the question here, when was the last time you felt visible at work, invisible at work? I have felt that way,
Mhm.
and it was all within the same company, which was an amazing company.
Mhm.
But it came down to the manager. Surprise,
Mhm.
surprise. I had some managers, leaders, whatever you want to call them, that hoarded information, that took credit for all my work. And anytime anything got stinky, they dropped it on my lap to fix. And I felt invisible. I was miserable. I hated my job. I hated showing up every day. And within the same company, I worked with managers that elevated me and challenged me and supported me and gave me the resources to be successful. And so I'm going to say this about 20 more times today. It's easy to blame the company. And folks, we need to stop doing that. That is not helping us. That is not serving us. Because the company is really just an EIN number to receive money, to process it, and allocate taxes and expenses and all that bullshit. It is the human beings that are employed by that company that are making or breaking the retention of their people. What do you think, Jen?
Well, 100%, I agree. And I want to dig a little deeper into when we say these things, the default is my manager or the person I'm under or what I have authority to do. Like that, we automatically internalize it. But I want to challenge, just based on my experience, is for me, like I don't have a lot of direct reports, but I have an entire company of people that I can elevate. So that and like they don't report to me. I don't report to them, but there's value in your role and who you're responsible for, but also do you see other people doing really cool things and big things, and do you acknowledge that? So I want to throw that out there because I think sometimes we get siloed into, yeah, but I don't have control over there, or I can't do that. And the part you said about feeling valued, it does not have to be just because that's the person that I interact with every day. So I think that's important to remember. And then the other part is that the invisible part sometimes can be our fault.
Ooh, what do you mean?
Well, I think that's important, and I'm just going to speak from my experiences. When you're doing something, you're in a role, whatever your support, whatever you're doing in this industry, there's times where you're just doing your job. You're showing up every day and you're doing a good job. And if you don't screw up and you're not doing stuff to cost the company money and you're safe, you're not drawing any attention to yourself. Like they're just going to let you, they're focusing on the fires over here. They're focusing on the things that maybe are happening that don't help. And then you're over here resenting people. And so I want to make sure to balance the two with, if you are doing some really cool things, you may have to be the one to have some of these hard conversations instead of waiting until, well, you never acknowledge me or you never recognize me. So I want to balance the two so that it's not, well, I'm leaving because they never did these things. They. Absolutely, that's important. For managers, you need to make sure you're valuing your people. But for me, who's someone that, because I travel so much and because of what I do, like I have to be the one also to communicate, here's the things I'm doing and here's what I need. And if I don't get that, then I can go, they didn't listen to me. So I just want to make sure that we can sit there and we can have some pity parties sometimes and we can say they don't care. And sometimes they don't even know.
Right.
So
right. It's like they don't care. They're just ignorant. They don't know.
Right. Yeah.
And so what I hear you talking about is like self-advocacy, right?
Yes,
You got to let people know what you're doing.
Yes.
Or rather, you don't have to. It is in your best interest to let people know what you're doing. I agree 100%. And I'm still going to say managers does not give a manager license to sit on their ass.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right. Like because you have that damn word manager in your title, you have greater responsibility because whether you know it or not, and I'm going to get more granular for construction, foreman, leadman, superintendent, maybe manager's not in your title, but you have the careers and livelihoods, the future of people in your hands.
Yep.
And so saying, well, they never told me, bullshit. Like you got to play a bigger game, a better game. Like this isn't tryouts. You're the person. And so sure, I agree. Or I'll say it this way. When I advocate for myself and I have a mediocre manager, my outcomes are better.
Correct. Yes. Right? Absolutely. Yes.
And when I advocate for myself and I have an OG manager, the outcomes are freaking enormous.
Yes.
Right. So there is value in like I think it's a skill that everybody needs to build, being a self-advocate and letting people know in a, non-obnoxious manner. So don't do it like I do it. right? Like it is absolutely a skill to build, but I want to keep my thumb on the managers,
No, I
supervisors,
agree.
leaders out there. Like this is your responsibility. And if you're not doing it, well, no wonder people are leaving, right? Sure,
Yeah.
you can blame the generation, just like every damn generation has done for the past who knows how many centuries.
Mhm.
Maybe it's you, right?
So I have a story that goes in line with what
Come
you just
on.
said. Yes. So I say all that because that's kind of my brain and how I function. And so those of you that know me and Jesse, we've been in this world a little bit. We've been doing this for a while. And I for a long time, we were doing this and then I had my job. So I didn't bring a lot of this into my work. I just showed up the way that I do and I did my work. And then Jesse and I were doing a whole lot of stuff outside of work. And I didn't have intentional conversations because one, I didn't want it to get muddy or stuff like that. There was a moment where, again, very good self-advocating inside my company, very good being on with Jesse and doing the things we did, in a conversation that I had with my manager, the person that I report to, with no advocacy from my part. It was just a conversation. And the moment he said, Jennifer, I just want you to know we support everything you do inside of this company and outside of this company. The moment he said that, it was like it was something that changed in me without me asking for it, because he saw it, he valued it, and he intentionally communicated it.
Yep. 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 Now, I don't want to minimize that experience, but what I want to point out to people out there that are struggling and trying to, like, what the hell are you talking about? Your manager said positive words to you, right?
Yep.
Factual words that have a positive tone to them, and that recognize your contributions. Did he have to pay for the syllables?
No.
Did they have to write a new policy for that to happen?
No.
I mean, you picking up what I'm laying down
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
It's a freaking conversation, people.
Mhm.
All right. So, and like on that note, I want to like shout people out because I believe, and I made a post about this, about the value of social media, and specifically LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Mr. Jim says, I have to self-advocate so that so you don't slide into the invisible zone. You can't count on others to wave your flag. Straight up, right?
Yes.
Now, here's the interesting thing, and I think it's a natural human behavior. Before social media, and a lot of us have been brought up with this thinking: if you just work hard, just do your job, just deliver, and people will recognize it. Like that shit don't work anymore, or maybe it does. I've just never seen it. And so, like, here's the interesting thing is, take social media out of the picture. I'm working within my organization. I have a boss. I get raises. That's good. That means I'm doing good. I'm getting raises because whatever I'm doing makes my boss's job easier
It makes some money.
and makes money for the company, right? Like, duh, it's easy math. But if I'm not advocating for myself outside of my little department, my little business unit, my little city, I'm leaving all the responsibility and power
Yes, in his
to
hands.
my one boss.
Her hands, whoever that is. Yes.
What's that?
Is it his or her hands? You're leaving it to them. Yes.
I'm leaving it to them. And it is not in their best interest to go out and say, freaking Jesse's amazing. Jesse's good. Jesse's got all this skill. He's got all this potential. Because what does that mean? I get promoted. I get moved to a different department and I don't solve their pain anymore.
Yes.
Right now, I'm not saying that people are that calculating and saying, I mean, I know some are. I've worked with them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a natural thing. And so if I'm leaving the responsibility to advocate for me to one person that it benefits the least, I'm making a damn mistake.
Yes.
So social media, guess what? On LinkedIn specifically, you can share your thoughts, you can share your ideas, you can share your perspective, you can share the things that you do to contribute to the organization, to the industry, the community, and so forth. And that I qualify as a form of self-advocacy,
Mhm. Absolutely.
right? Now, Jen, do you have a story of where tribe members were self-advocating and it got a little wonky?
Oh yes. So well, one, this is what was tearing me up earlier. So I want to dig into that a little bit, and then I
Let's
want to
go.
tell the story. So we're here on a Saturday morning, and this is what we do every other Saturday. And this is my one of my favorite places to be. But as of right now, this is going to get me. People that work for my company that are off, that are at home with their families, that are doing things that the company isn't paying them for, are on here with us this morning.
Yes.
And I mean, if you needed to measure something, or you needed to capture something, or you needed to see, is this okay or is this not okay, or do they support it, or do they feel like, hey, I'd rather be sitting at home drinking coffee, sleeping in, and they're showing up to these conversations with us. Like, I don't promote it, I don't share it, I don't push it out and go, hey, everybody show up. But to have people from my company on a Saturday morning when they don't have to be here, and when no one's telling them they have to be here because they want to be, because it's important to them, and they want to be a part of these conversations. Like, that's the part that I can't even describe it. That to me is where you see that there's something bigger than just, we're going to make a profit, this is the outcomes, this is the things that we're focused on. And
Yeah.
so, and again, I mean, you pull Josh up, but I mean, Josh has been very vocal. He's one of our senior superintendents. I mean, he's a leader in our company, and he will tell his people, like, this is an avenue for you to be able to learn and grow and get better and connect with people. Like, these are things that are happening inside the company. Like, to me, that is winning. That is
Yeah.
winning, because you can see you're making an impact. Those ripples of impact are happening without you going, you shalt be here, you are required to be here, those kind of things. Right. And so to me, that's the part that it always, and I'm in awe every time. But the other side of that is when we started doing this, when Jesse and I started doing this, and we had people joining in just like today, people that were jumping in and that were sharing from other companies. Their company saw that, and then they came in and, hey, what are you doing? Why are you sharing that? What's wrong? What's going on? Or, you don't seem like you're happy, whatever. And it became a negative thing. Like, hey, why are you putting all your dirty laundry out there? Why are you saying things that don't support our company? Why are you saying things that, that I don't really want you to be doing that? That's another culture. That's
Yep.
another way for people to realize that, hey, one, they're watching when it's important to them, but they're not watching all the other things I'm doing.
Yeah.
And long story short, one of those people that did share that maybe got a little reprimanded now works for us, but I'm just going to go there.
No. So I love it. Now, there's two big things
Okay.
in there that I want to
Ooh,
pick apart.
okay.
Is there's risk for the individual, right? And
Absolutely.
right, we know the person, they came over, freaking beautiful outcome for
Mm-hmm.
you and her,
Mm-hmm.
or that person. But anyways, so there is risk, and I think, and I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna give everybody the freaking cheat code. All you nervous managers that get all riled up when you see your people posting on LinkedIn, here's the answer. Like, do it right. Here's how to do it right. If you're a check boxer manager, you like the checky boxy things, I'm gonna give you the checky boxies, right? When your people post on LinkedIn, what happens is other people, other talent from other organizations say, "Oh, look, there is that person interesting? Is that person cool? Are they saying cool things?" It's magnetic. It's attracting
It is.
people,
Mhm.
right? Now, I'm gonna stick to answers, solutions here. When a decision maker, somebody with significant influence in the company goes in and likes or hearts,
That part, Jesse, that part.
right? That person's post, believe it or not, people look at, oh, who's liking this?
Mhm.
Oh, I like the person, and holy moly, their executive or their VP or their department head. Oh, they support their people.
Gosh, that part.
So
How much did
easy
that
peasy.
cost, Jesse? How much did that
No,
cost?
exactly. Freaking click on their thing. Second, you want to graduate? Leave a comment. So glad that you're part of the team. Like, whatever. Hell, you know what? I'll even give you a pass if you use the generic ass AI comments that LinkedIn provides.
Even an emoji. I mean, like, come on. That's
Right?
even easier.
And so what people can see external, the talent that you want to attract, they'll see like, oh, these people support it. That manager supports their people. They don't have the negative, hey, what's going on? Why did you post that? They have a supportive manager. They have supportive, open-minded leadership. And then if you repost it, like you're just gaining points. So that's the impact it has on the viewers. Now, on internally to the individual and the people that are your employees at our team, that individual is going to say, man, okay, like I can, like the fear, that risk is lower now. Like, man, okay, I positive reinforcement. I'm gonna do more of that.
Mhm.
Other people within your organization start doing it too, and now you have a whole gang of people contributing to the attraction of folks. Now, of course, you got to back it up in your daily actions and
Mhm.
so forth.
Yeah.
But that's different and simple than, or simpler than saying, "Hey, we need to have a conversation. I really want to understand where you're coming from on this, and why did you say this? And I don't know. Like, we just got to make sure that bro. That's why you're losing people, fool.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think, Jen?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, every part of everything you said, because I've lived it. And the other part is, yes, the person sees it. They get value from it. But recently, in the last, I'm going to say maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember which post. I know what post it was, but in the
Yeah.
last 2 or 3 weeks, I had a post, and it was an internal process workshop we had, digging into it, sharing it outside the company with some of the things we were trying to tackle. Okay, so one, it's pulling the curtain back a little bit, getting a little more transparent, and sharing some of the things you're doing that other people may see. And oh my gosh, are they going to know what we're doing inside the company? And is that going to change dynamics? So one, sharing something that will provide value not just for you but for someone else. And on a post, it's about snowman. So if you want to go look it up, it's about snowman, but building snowman. But I did a post, and our CFO, our CEO, and a vice president liked it and or commented on it.
Mm.
It was great because I love engagement. But I've had 4 people come up to me and said, "Did you see who liked your post?" And again, I know I have support. I mean, I feel it, and they make it very clear. But other people saw it, so it's not. It is them doing it and supporting it. It is the person receiving it, but it's also, like you said, all the other people that are seeing. Oh crap! Like there's support there outside of something that is very company focused.
Yes.
That is like that's the next level. That's the stuff where people are watching and paying attention, because you and I talked about this, and I know we probably have a lot of other things to talk about, but you and I talked about this, is that I don't have people approaching me like trying to recruit me away. It's just, why do you think people are not trying to poach me?
Because they don't want bullies.
Well, that part too. That's already been. Oh my god! And Josh is out there probably listening, and he's like, "I show up because Jennifer scares me."
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's because it's so obvious how enthused, content, and fulfilled you are where you're at right now.
Right. And it's those things that when you're out there and you're sharing and you're excited, and then people support it, those of you that are out there worried about losing your people, that is a way to keep them. Because
Right.
when people can see they're excited, people aren't approaching me. People aren't trying to come and steal me because they see what I'm doing and that I'm good. If your people have an avenue and a way to share, they're happy and the culture's good and I'm supported, they're less likely to go, hey, I see that you're struggling over here. I see that you don't seem too happy, or I see that maybe this is a issue that you're having. Hey, we've got a solution for you. We've got a better place for you. Like it doesn't happen as much.
Right. Oh my God. And this like leads over into our next
Okay.
question. And I want to give everybody a reminder. You got 10 minutes? 10
Okay.
minutes
Yes.
before we do the randomizer. So drop your comments, your emojis in the chat. We got 19 entries currently for the randomizer. And at the top of our hour, we're going to go there. But Francis, hopefully this answered your question, Miss Francis, like examples of elevating others. And now I'm going to say they were JV answers, right? Because we're talking about social media where all you got to do is hit a button, right? I mean, like, it's not that freaking hard, people. It's not that hard. You don't have to come up with content pillars and a schedule and video. Like, freaking hit the button. It has impact. Now, I want to get into like some real writer downers. Like, ooh, that's a good one. I need to do that. And I think we're going to get them from the audience. So this one goes to the tribe. What's one thing that your current or past manager has done that made you feel seen, heard, or valued? Right. And Jen, I know you've given a couple of examples already, but I want to, and so folks, let me just clarify it. If you've been struggling with retention, or you know what, I'm going to make it even easier. If you've been struggling with the weak generation out there that just doesn't want to work anymore, and people that don't take accountability or have any initiative, these answers are for you. I'm joking because you're just blaming people when you ain't taking ownership. So, folks out there in the Omniverse, what are the things your current and or past managers have done that made you feel seen, heard, or valued? And notice, I am not writing the word company. I am saying manager because it is the human engagement that I say makes the biggest difference in the world. So do you have another example, Jen?
I mean, I do, because my manager, the one that I report to, again, very supportive, and a recent conversation we've had. And for me, it's conversations. Like that to me is action, because I'm busy. I'm all over the place. I'm doing a lot of things. I don't get a lot of one-on-one time with my manager. So when I do, like, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, and a recent conversation, letting me know I was getting promoted, which was awesome. But the way he presented it, like, I don't know if I could have taken anything more from it. So as he's talking to me, he's getting a little emotional because he's proud of me. He's excited for me. And he said these words. He says, Jennifer, I've just learned I just got to get out of your way. And this is my man. This is the person I report to, valuing me enough to know that my ideas and where I want to go and what I want to do, it may not even exist yet, but to know me enough and to value me enough to trust me.
Yeah.
And to allow me to do something like that. Like, to me, there's nothing else he could have said. There's nothing else he could have said that made me feel more valued, more heard, more seen. And like, again, I would run through a wall for him. And it's because he trusts me.
So the demonstration of trust, 100%. Francis dropping some nuggets in there. She says the book, Speed of Trust. Good. I think that's a Covey book. Maybe not. Thank you for that. Good resource. And while the tribe out there is wiping their tears and thinking of all the cool things their manager has done, I've got a couple of examples that really made me feel valued or seen. And in the moment, though, it didn't feel that way. It just felt like extra freaking work. But I had an idea about starting an internship program for high school kids. And I sat with my boss, said, hey, and in a little bit of background, I was responsible for staffing all of our projects. So like, I would move people around and keep track of labor and financial reports and manpower reports and see blah, 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 blah. And it was clear to me, like, man, we got an intake problem. We need to start sourcing more people in a better way, because the way that we're currently doing it's very expensive. It's not yielding the results we want. And so, anyways, I was involved in a bunch of CTE programs here in San Antonio, and I said, man, there's talent there that they're just like, we need to get them. Anyways, so crazy idea. Said, hey, here's what I think we need to do. And my manager was like, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, no, I know. But it's like, do you want to do it? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, what do you need from me? I said, like, point me in the right direction, because this was going to be, I mean, long term, I had to like sit down with risk management. I had to sit down with the like directors of the corporate HR, corporate risk management to work through the whole thing. I was like, I need you to at least signal that you support this thing. He said, I got it. And so he let me take on this radical idea. And of course, I still had to do my day job, right?
Of course.
But he's like, go do it. Tell me what you need. And then he would give me guidance here and there. It wasn't something like, you got to do da, 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 da. I just had an idea and they let me test it,
Mhm.
right? So if I were to break it down to its core, he let me run an experiment.
Mhm.
And it was huge because, I mean, the skills that I built, the relationships, like all kinds of things happened as a result of it. But I had an idea. I didn't bring it to him and say, hey, I have an idea y'all should do. I
Mhm.
said, I have an idea that I want to bring to life. I just need a sponsor. Will you sponsor? I didn't use that language, right? But I just needed
Yes.
sponsorship. And he said, you got it. And then I went and did the damn thing. It took a lot of freaking time, but it was amazing. And it absolutely, after the fact, I said, hey, like, why the hell would you let me do that? Like, I've been spending like months of working on this thing. And he's like, Jess, because you can see the gaps that we have. And I know how obsessive you are. So like like you weren't just going to start it and then leave it, like you were going to bring it to an end, or if you stopped, it was because it was not possible.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh shit. And I didn't have that awareness about myself at the time. So it really, really helped me
Mhm.
get a grasp or a clearer perspective on some of the skills, gifts, and talents that I wasn't aware of. Does that make sense?
It does, and I want to add to that because I feel like it's a very similar path. Just on a lot of the things I've been able to do didn't exist, and I can see it, but I wasn't for sure. But I was able to be. I was given the opportunity to try to figure it out, and to like and I call it autonomy and authority. And
Mhm.
that's how like I was given autonomy and authority, the authority to be able to go ask somebody for something and get something in return, or I need some help here, I can pull these things, and I didn't get questioned. But the autonomy of it's yours, you're going to own it, I'm going to give it to you, and then I'm going to let you lead it, like, to me. And Josh is on here, Josh Wallace, I know Josh Young leads that way with his young guys, a lot of autonomy and authority to kind of let them go out and figure some things out. But to me, that's the magic, that's the cheat code for me, giving your people that autonomy and the authority to be able to go and try something, maybe fail, maybe
Yes.
experiment, maybe do the things like exactly what you just said.
Yep. Now, and another one. There's another answer for the people that hire all the bad people.
Mhm.
If you're not picking up on it, there's like a coincidence there, and there is some sarcasm in what I'm putting out there. Is simple, asking people what they think. What do you think about that? Right? Like, that's not hard. And
Yes.
even if you don't give a shit about what they think, you can fake it till you make it. Ask
Mhm.
the question, shut your mouth, let them finish talking, and you're moving in the right direction. So I just want to,
Yes.
help you give some people
Absolutely.
some pointers. And we got the master speaking. Brent says, ask. Does it? Oh shit, there he is.
I mean,
This
literally, like right in line with that.
truly listen and understand, and then this is gangster level, right?
Yes.
Now he's not just saying ask; he's adding ask and then take action on what they are saying. Many, many applications for this. 100%. Small actions, yield dramatic results. So first you got to ask, then you got to listen, then you got to take action. If you do all of those, I mean, like for real, Jen, especially in our industry, the managers that do that are like the top
They
1%,
are absolutely 100%.
right? Like there's not that many of them. And so hopefully what people are getting out of this is like, holy moly, these things are small baby things. And I want to Jen, I mean, I know you travel, but I get around a lot more than you do,
Uh-huh.
right? And I get into different places, but we'll talk about that later. That's another show. I've been worked with amazing contractors. I worked with dirtbag contractors. I worked with trades, geez, like all over the place, all over the country, all the different levels. And I know for a fact that the percentage of people that managers, the percentage of managers, leaders, supervisors, whatever you want to call them, that understand the value or have a regular practice of asking questions, listening, taking action, supporting, investing in the human being beyond their stupid KPIs,
Mm-hmm.
in the human being is the 1%. And
Mm-hmm.
they are freaking smoking everybody else, and they will continue to do so. All right, so we got another, Mr. Josh Wallace. He says, my manager is always trying to elevate me and my teammates. This shows just how much he cares, not only about the project, but the future of his workers. straight from him, man. Like, yes. And then we got Mr. James Gable, the uncommon communicator. He says autonomy and authority come from a foundation of trust. Seems everything starts there. What do you think about this
Well, I mean,
trusting?
you know how I feel about this. It's like if you can't trust the people that are working for you, why are they working for you? If you don't trust them to do their job, why did you hire them? Because I mean, obviously they could go and do work somewhere else. And so, I mean, but if you don't trust them, they're not going to grow. They're not going to learn. They're not going to have the opportunity to be able to go and, evolve into something else. If you are just going to checklist them and going to, this is your job, only do this, don't think, no logic, no critical thinking, none of that. I just need you to do this thing. That's not how we're created.
Yes.
So if that is
Yes.
what you need, we got robots that are probably going to be coming around to do that stuff. Let them robots do that stuff. But if you want people, human beings that are put on this earth to evolve and to grow and to improve and things like that, like you've got to allow them to use those skills, which means you can't just say, "Here, this is all I need you to do. Don't do anything else. Don't give me any thoughts. Don't give me any feedback. Don't give me any things that we could do better." Like that's a robot. That's all that is.
Yep. Compliance. If all you need is compliance, you're losing all the value that human beings bring to the table.
100%.
And so Mr. James Gable caught in just in time for the
Randomizer.
So we're going to do the randomizer. Randomizer. La, la, la. Uh-oh, where did the view go here? I like this view more good. Are you ready, Jen? You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Randomizer. Oh, Melissa wanted. It's in her second time. That's awesome.
Yes.
All right, Melissa, you girl, you already know what to expect. I'll be sending you a calendar invite so we can get you there. Congratulations. Thanks for dropping your name in the hat. And if you're like just now catching the replay, the way to get into the randomizer is to comment and contribute to the conversation as Jen and I are, bumping our gums and all that good stuff. So we got about 11 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
And I want everybody to know that the No BS after party is going to be starting here at 20 minutes after the hour.
Yep.
So you don't have to have your camera on. It's just so we can talk and learn, like, was this a valuable conversation, or further develop the next show that'll be here in a
That's usually how it happens.
Yeah, that's the method to the madness. Is we come up here and talk and be crazy. Then we have the after party and we learn from you. And based on the spirit of that conversation in the after party, that informs the next live stream. So Heads up. All right, Jen. Sorry. I
Okay,
got.
no, you're good.
So, what do you think? Did did we give any tips or pointers for this, like how to win the retention game?
I mean, I think I think we gave some cheat codes. And I
Okay.
think that I mean, I'm sure you and I have we always talk about this, and then in the culture and the places that are doing it right and doing it different, and then those that are it's very apparent that they're not. And so I mean I think I can give one more, and this is a general one, but people are always watching. Like, please understand, people are watching, they're paying attention. Like, my role, I'm able to touch a lot of projects, I'm able to help with departments, I'm able to have a lot of conversations with people. And like, I'll go in and there's a lot of, well, just be prepared, and this person's going to come in and they're going to do this, and don't forget this, and hey, when you go to this job site, this is what you need to be prepared. Like, everybody's paying attention, everybody's got their opinions. And if you are out there and you are really leaning in and understanding that, hey, what are we doing? Because how is it being represented? What are people taking away? Because they're going and talking about it to other people. Like, just
Yes.
everyone's watching. Don't ever think that someone's not paying attention.
100%. And so, a couple things I want to do before we get into closing thoughts. Folks, Miss Melissa says I can gift it to a newbie in the chat. So, folks, if you would like the gift of access to the cultivation crew and emotional bungee jumpers, hit up Miss Melissa. Melissa, I will count on you to let me know who you decide to gift it to. And that's very generous of you. I'm not going to read into that and take it as a rejection. I promise. And Sam left this chunk here, and I think there's a lot of value. So I want to bring it back
Yes.
up. He said he was at a place for 25 years, had the best job like in the area, and realized that the environment was driving him away from himself and his family. He saw it for 5 or 7 years and decided it was time to go, right? To go on. No, there was no respect for his values or his family. The new company, and it's an open environment with a great culture, and we have the same vision. Make the decision and live for you and family. That's pretty simple, right? Like, I'm psychotic. So what that means is when I'm in a situation that's bad, I can't help but want to change it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm the new person, when I don't have all the influence and authority, that takes a lot of damn work.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of years to have even a little bit of an effect.
Mm-hmm.
The wise thing to do is go find a place where you can thrive, like Milo says, thrive, strive, not just survive. And so, anyways, I wanted to put that out there because I also know, like, yeah, it's easy from people's perspective. It's like, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say that. You got your own coat. Like, yeah, but I was a scrub too. Like, I was the lowest person, the newbie, many, many times. And I've worked through that. So I understand that. Like, I tolerated things longer than I should have. And I didn't have to. You can make decisions to put yourself in better conditions so that you can thrive and grow and develop your gifts and talents. Managers, people, human beings, treat your people better, because the folks that are doing that right now, they're going to take all your damn people. It's happening and you don't even know it. All right, Jen, closing thoughts while I do the after party link sharing stuff.
Yeah. So a couple of things I wanted to hit on is, some of you are out there going, yeah, that all sounds great, like Jesse said, but I'm not in a position to make changes within my firm. I'm not in a position because of my age, because of my seniority, because of my experience to make those big changes in the company that I'm working in. I understand. But every one of you are in a position, before you say yes to a firm, to ask questions.
Ooh.
So yes, we go into interviews and we think it's all about them asking us questions. And maybe that used to be what it is. Like, are you a good fit for our company? And tell me what you would do in this situation. All of those are important because firms need to know what they're getting. But we are now in a place in this industry and the way that the world is working that you also get to go, I've got some questions. And I made this point earlier this week, was at Clemson speaking to some of their students, their graduate students and their undergraduate students that are in construction and that were taking a really cool high performing teams class. And we were talking about alignment, project alignment. How do you get alignment early on in the project? What does that look like? What are the processes that you use? Things like that. And someone in the room said, yeah, but we're coming in as like the new people. So how would we be able to change what they're doing? And I'm like, well, before you do that, you do have to make a decision on where you're going to work. So when you're in your interview, how about you ask them, what do they do to create project alignment, and see if they have any strategy or any process in place, because that should tell you something before you ever make the decision. So just remember, yes, you need to go work somewhere, but you also can pick and choose where you're going to go work.
Yes.
So there's that piece. And I want to throw the stat out because people love numbers and metrics, and I don't lead with it, but I do have it to back it up. So we've done the math and run the numbers, and just from my firm, because this is why I know, because of the culture, that's my job in my company, is to help lead what our culture is and what we're doing. But our retention rate is 30% higher than the industry average. Like, that's not just because it's a number, but it is significant. And it is because of a lot of the things that you and I talked about today.
Well, okay. I'm going to say it a different way.
Say it.
It's because there's so many scrubs out there.
Okay, absolutely. And the scrubs are losing them, and we're getting them, and we're keeping them. Well, I'm going to give you that. Yes.
Right. Like, I mean, so, and I don't want to take anything away, because I know how y'all roll, and I know that experience there it's what it should be, or it's one of the closest to what it should be, right?
Exactly.
For trade contractor, for everybody.
Work in progress, always work in progress.
Right. And that's amazing. And there's a lot of effort and resources and stuff the organization has contributed to that, which has attracted leaders that treat people like human beings and show appreciation. But there are so many scrubs out there, right? That make it's like, if I'm 6'7" and I'm on the 8th grade team and everybody's 5 foot and I'm the highest scorer, am I really accomplishing anything? Right. So it's a little bit of a challenge. It's also a lot of like, folks, you got to elevate your game. Because in my head, as more leaders start elevating their game, y'all are going to stay ahead. So y'all are going to elevate your game. Yep. And right, like, as one grows, we all grow. And so it'll make everything better. And I want to wrap up by, like, again, giving the simple cheat codes for people, for those poor employers and managers that just get the worst people all the time. Right? The poor unfortunate souls. Here's the cheat codes that you could start doing today. When your people interact on social media, specifically LinkedIn, hit the like button, leave a positive comment, reshare, repost their thing. Those are easy things. Like real life stuff, ask them questions. Ask them what they think. This comes from Brent's book. Ask them what they think. Start with that. Listen. That's the second level. And then take action on what you hear. Like, if you do those things, and there's a whole lot more stuff that you can do, but if you bake those simple micro actions, those things have compounding benefit. Especially if you just have the worst batch of resources to hire from, this will transform. It's magical. All of a sudden, you'll start getting better people. Can you see? Am I being too sarcastic?
You're right. I mean, for me, and the adding part of asking, listening, taking action, support the things that are important to them. Like, it's literally that easy. Find out what's important to them, ask them, listen, and support those things.
Yep.
I mean, don't
Yep.
like feed into addictive behaviors, but like, I mean, so
Right.
things that they're
Right.
passionate about, things that you can tell this is so important to them. Feed into that because they're going to get excited. They're going to get people on board with them. And then they're just going to keep that train rolling.
Yep. 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 All right. Well, that's it, folks. I put the links for the after party in the things. So hopefully we didn't scare you away. If I pissed you off, come to the after party and tell me I ain't scared. Say it to my face. We'll see y'all next time. Chicken banana. Chicken banana.